Hey guys, New Year is around the corner, so we decided to gather all the expectations we have for Elon Musk and his companies. Let's start with Tesla. Tesla plans to hold a shareholders meeting to talk about batteries in February-March 2020. The company most likely plans to switch to its own battery production and not rely on suppliers. They're planning on discussing chemistry, modules, architecture, and show a roadmap for producing 1 terawatt-hours per year at this meeting. For comparison, Panasonic produces 28 gigawatt-hours per year at Gigafactory 1. The 7-seater Model S Plaid will go into mass production in October and November next year. The car should officially break the Porsche Taycan record at the Nürburgring. The configuration will be the same, it's a 5+2, but now it will be more comfortable there for larger passengers. But we feel like it just means older children. Model X and Roadster 2 will also get Plaid just a little later. Oh, and Roadster 2 was originally expected in 2020, but we'll see it in 2021. There were also rumors about Model S and X interior update. It was expected to happen in September. The goal was to unify the design across all the vehicles, but then Elon Musk wrote that there will be no update, only minor changes. Tesla hoped to open Tesla centers in most major cities in the fourth quarter, but we didn't hear anything else about it since, so maybe we'll see them in 2020. Sales, service, and car deliveries will be carried out from the centers 7 days a week. There are laws in some states that prohibit car manufacturers from selling their cars directly, including Tesla, although the company doesn't have dealerships that the law is designed to protect. In other states, sales are prohibited on Sundays. By focusing on energy sales, Tesla centers could theoretically get around these laws. In 2019, Tesla launched its own insurance, but only in California, so next year we expect to see it in other markets. At the beginning of next year, Tesla plans to start construction of the 4th Gigafactory in Berlin and start production in 2021. So next year, we expect to closely monitor the construction of the Gigafactory, just as we did in 2019 with the 3rd Giga. Apparently, this building will be built in sections, just as the previous plans. Tesla expected to invest up to 4 billion euros in the factory, create up to 10,000 jobs, and produce 500,000 Model Y and Model 3s per year. What about the Gigafactory in Shanghai? Next year, we should see a wave of deliveries of the first Chinese Model 3s throughout the country. Musk talked about producing 3,000 cars per week in the first quarter of 2020. In the near future, Tesla should start producing Model Ys and by mid-2020 reach the rate of 1,000 SUVs per week. And at the end of next year, Tesla should start producing Tesla Semi, although in limited volume. By next year, Tesla promised to release FSD, and the launch of robo-taxi is just around the corner. Musk says that this will happen in 2020, but we're not making any assumptions. Tesla Energy. The largest battery in the world that Tesla installed in Australia 2 years ago proved to be so good that the customer plans to increase it by 50%. In its first year of operation, the system has saved Australians more than $50 million, so they decided to increase it by another 50 megawatts. The batteries will be installed in the first half of 2020 and it will probably be megapacks. In 2020, Tesla plans to begin testing 3rd-generation solar roofs and produce 1,000 roofs per week. Boring Company. Rumor has it that the Boring Company may take on the job of creating the electric public transport, and it is possible we will hear something about this project in 2020. Now, we did not forget about the Las Vegas tunnel, but they should finish by 2021. Neuralink is a really unpredictable company, so we're afraid to make assumptions on that front. SpaceX. Starlink will begin providing broadband internet access in the United States in mid-2020. Global coverage will require 24 launches, which the company hopes to implement before the end of next year. SpaceX works with other countries to obtain the appropriate permits, but they all have their own requirements. Oh, and the connection may be unstable at first. This problem should be resolved by 2021. SpaceX is also working on user terminals and the Starlink app. The Crew Dragon IFA test will take place on January 11th, 2020, and the first crewed flight is going to happen in February or March. We also expect that the first launch of the ride-sharing program will take place in March next year. Most likely, the Starlink satellites will become the payload in most of those launches. And finally, Starship. We expect the 20-kilometer hop and orbital flights. SpaceX also wants to accelerate the production of Raptor engines and even assemble one engine per day. And I guess that's it. If I forgot something, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next year.